subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Namaste, konnichiwa. Welcome to the Nupur Tewari Show. Let's talk business. But today we are not going to talk business. We are going to do some chit chat with Mr. Vivek Mahajan. Mr. Vivek Mahajan is the CTO of Fujitsu. So Vivek, welcome to the Nupur Tewari Show.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. And Vivek, we would love to know that your journey from Chandigarh to Tokyo. Definitely, there are a lot of other cities also there. So I think very few people know about your journey. So you'd love to know.
Well, my journey actually starts from Dharamshala, not Chandigarh to be precise, where I was born. So from Dharamshala, where I grew up, Dharamshala is the town where Dalai Lama lives. I think it's still, for me, probably one of the most beautiful places. Now become famous for cricket ground. And that's actually the ground where we used to play when we were kids. Yeah, from there, I went to Chandigarh because my father worked in Chandigarh. And he that's where his family moved after partition, and then so basically I then finished my schooling in Chandigarh, my college, and then my engineering in Chandigarh as well, all the way through, and then I left for the United States in 1990 to do my master's. And then I did my MBA. Then I started my career in Silicon Valley, and then I've been traveling all over. I lived in Australia, Singapore, Japan, Germany, but I've been there in US, of course, back and forth. But then I've been based in Japan for a while. Yeah.
So the journey was good. It was exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you always have ups and downs, just like anything else in life. Yeah, you are where you are because the end product is, all these experiences can make you what you are today.
Wonderful. So does Vivek Mahajan want to hide himself, or he's just too busy with his work?
What do you mean hide myself?
I
don't
mean,
know.
like you are not anyway. It's very difficult to find you. Like when we see like other Indians who are doing around the world, we just keep seeing them that everywhere. Everywhere means the media. Like at least the Indians, they know about that. Very few people know about you, but you have done tremendous job. When it comes to your field. So I think, I'm talking about that.
I don't know whether I agree with you. I think in the professional community, we have there's fairly well known both here in Japan, even in this community. I think I would say fairly well known. I haven't gone out and been in just get in professional media. You will find me a lot. I mean, if you do a search in Google, but other than professional stuff. Probably not, because I haven't gone out and sought that sort of, I guess, media so far.
Wonderful. So, so you meant to say, hey, Nupur, you did not do your homework properly. That's why you're just asking me that question.
Which homework?
That I asked you that you're nowhere, so you said, hey, I'm already well known. You did not do your homework properly.
I'm not trying to be boastful. I'm saying in this community, I would say in the technology community, in what we do, I think fairly my peers would not say that they won't know me. Yeah.
Exactly. For the audience, I'd like to say you must be wondering like what is happening. It's just, as I said, it is not really professional interview. I'm not going to ask many professional or technology related questions. It's a chit chat. So we're just, maybe you can say I'm teasing a little bit as well. So Vivek here, so you worked for American companies and you're working for hardcore Japanese company. So it would be very enlightening if you can just see what's the difference and working for both countries, companies. Yeah.
Sure. No, that's a very good question. I think I've worked pretty much all my life for American companies, right? From that's where I started my career in the Silicon Valley, all around, except for this Fujitsu, which is the first Japanese company or non-American company that I worked for, and I never actually thought that I would work for a Japanese company. But yeah, Fujitsu came calling. They were saying, "Look, we're interested in becoming more, definitely doing more aggressively, changing, but driving more innovation, it was something that I thought about as a challenge, and then it's something that was something that excited me, and I took it on. But yeah, I mean, it's a very different approach. If the culture in Japan is more America, I would say, a lot of people believe that Japan is very militarist, but it's not. America is the American company would be much more top down. A Japanese company would be less so. And I would say the decision making is more, I guess, down the ranks, and there's probably more consensus in how decisions work. Probably a lot more communication. So those things are there. But I think Fujitsu is probably becoming more and more global. So it's so far it's been a good journey for me. Very aggressive, very fast. In what we need to make. My boss is the CEO, and I think he's quite a visionary guy who's trying to take Fujitsu to the next level. So yes, so far so good, I think. But there's obviously a very different way of approaching business in Japan versus US. I mean, there's a very strong focus on quality in Japan. And I would say much more than US here, and you don't want to US. You take the price. Let's say you're coming up with a new product in US. If it's like 70-80% ready, you'll just go out to the market and start selling. In Japan, a lot of companies feel very reluctant when it's like 99.5% ready. So I think that's there. I think opinions matter. A lot of consensus driven here. US is obviously a lot more, change in IT is much more faster. I think the customers are also a lot more open in trying out new ideas. In Japan, probably that's more conservative. So that's definitely there, and that all kind of comes into play in the difference in the two countries.
Never worked in India, so do you think you missed something? You never worked in India. Do you think you missed something?
I have never worked in India in that way, but I would say in my last 3 careers, including Fujitsu, I've worked. I've not been an employee in India, if you will, but for example, we set up a global delivery center in India with Oracle as well. That I set up a pretty big, I guess, our amalgamation or offshore center in Bangalore, and now we've set up our biggest labs in Bangalore. So I'm going to India almost like every 2 months now. So I don't know, yes and no. Maybe the Indian experience for how things work in a business on day-to-day basis. But for example, the work that we are doing right now in the labs in India, that's pretty day-to-day business. My salary probably gets paid, obviously I'm an employee of corporate Japan, corporate Fujitsu here, but pretty detailed involved in setting that up. And the same with the GDC in India, which is the first of its kind for when we did that in Delhi, in Gurgaon. So yeah, I don't know what I missed, unless you missed something, but I think I feel I'm okay.
Okay, so Japan, it's a totally different country for because you spent most of your life in America or in India. Japan. So how did you find Japan? Not only, I'm not talking about work-wise, working for Fujitsu, or maybe social life and other. Did you find any problem being here or having spending
I would say maybe I'm a Japanophile. I like Japan. I've lived in a lot of countries, but I think it's a very safe, clean, place. There's I think it's a very highly developed culture where people respect every other person. There's there's obviously a very detailed aspect to cleanliness and how things how to interact with other human beings, which I think is quite good. I mean, I used to live in New York just before I came back to Tokyo for Fujitsu, and New York is it's a very dynamic, exciting city. I used to live in the middle of Manhattan, very center of the city, and I would say it's a very affluent area, but still it wasn't as clean. It wasn't clean at all as compared to what Tokyo is. You think about it, how the city works, spotlessly, and that's a tribute to the people of Japan. I think, I feel very, the basic things in life that you want: clean air, clean food, safety. Your family can go out at night. Your daughter can go out at night at 10, 11 and not worry about like getting into trouble. That's something that you can't buy for money easily. So
exactly, it is one of the best country for living, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm going back to Dharamshala, where you started. You said is precisely Dharamshala was the place where you started from. So actually, and you mentioned about cricket. So do you watch cricket? I'm just curious. Oh, you do? Okay. Are you watching these days?
Yeah, I'm following it. I'm not sure whether I'm not watching it. I'm following it on the internet.
So who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Like, who are you supporting? Who's your favorite player?
Of course, it's got to be India. Favorite player? I don't know about favorite player. It's a favorite team. It's I would say that would be, of course, you want India to win. So
okay, it's good to know that you're watching or following cricket. So these days, when you left India, India was a different India, and today's India, how would you describe today's India?
no, I think there's a lot of progress in India, right? I mean, for example, when I left, Indira Gandhi International Airport was a small airport, and it was it wasn't like we wouldn't even say that it was a world-class airport, but now you look at it, it's a nice airport in Delhi. The roads, the infrastructure, but I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, for sure. The population has grown a lot. The air quality has become bad, and those are negative. But I think people are much more aware of what they're doing. The people's rights, the people's income is better. I think the standard of living has gone up in a lot of places. I wouldn't say all of India, but there's a lot of work to do. India is recognized as a power that counts. But you can see that in Japan, where people do want to notice India, what's going on, what's not. In my business trips all around the world, even talking with politicians across the world, which I do have an opportunity to, you do see that. The presence of India becoming much more than it was when I left India, which is 33 years ago. So it's all good. I think if we move in this direction and continue to move for another 10, 15 years, we'll be a pretty strong nation to beat.
Exactly. You're very correct. And actually, and definitely, many youth will be watching you. They will be listening to you as well. So the youth, today's youth, and when you left as a young man for America was the land of opportunity at that time. What would be like today's youth, Indian youth, which country they should go to, or just stay in India?
That's a hard question to answer. Which country? I have never thought in that way. I think
I never said that I will ask you the easy questions.
Yeah, I would think, ultimately, if there's an opportunity in your country, you should stick in your country. I mean, there's nothing like that, right? You would, India right now is different than 33 years ago. And if you're confident about yourself, if you believe you have the talent, then you stick in your place, right? And you can do it. And maybe, if I if I had a second chance, maybe that might be the route I would take to stay in India and do what I think I should do.
So again, I'm going back to Dharamsala. Dharamsala is the place which you said that Dalai Lama is there. So what is the that the definitely cricket stadium is there. Many people, they don't know because of the Dalai Lama. People, the world is they know the place, but many people, what is the place like? Like, how did you spend your childhood there, or just you
Yeah.
just? Mhm.
Yeah, no, I spent my childhood there until I was 9 or 10, and yeah, and then you go there. I still have most of my maternal family there, so I go there all the time. So it's, to me, it's there. You have the snow-covered Holadars there, which are snow-covered all year round. And this is beautiful mountains. So the mountains, if you're grown up in mountains, you always love mountains. So that's there. I mean, the people are nice, simple. The original inhabitants, not the migrants, but I would say the people are nice, simple, and easy to get along with. Then you have the shepherds who tend the sheep and make the wool. I mean, which is and it's got a lot of natural beauty, of course, which you can't buy with money. Now, having gone there recently, I do feel I think we are spoiling the beauty with a lot of it's probably an unavoidable consequence of urbanization and overpopulation that's happening all across India. Maybe in your home state in Darjeeling as well, same thing. But and you can actually, last time I was there, you could actually feel that the rivers and the mountains are kind of crying, which is not good. But the urbanization, I can understand why that's needed, but it's unplanned. It's messy. It's not beautiful, which spoils the natural beauty.
Maybe there we can learn from Japan how
Yeah,
planned way
absolutely.
they do, right?
There's a lot of things that India can learn from Japan.
Why don't you give us some example?
I think one of the big things is to respect your own culture rather than a mad rush towards westernization. There's good things from the Western culture that are to be incorporated. There are a lot of good things that are there in our culture. I mean, we have a very, very old culture, which is probably one of the oldest in the world, if not the oldest. And I think we should continue to value that. We should continue to respect that. I think Japan, one good thing is the modern culture exists with the traditional. People love their country, which I think Indians have started to do that more, and more be proud to be Indian, what we do. So that I think is very, and keep your environment clean. Do what is there, as right as a human being. Treat everybody with respect. I mean, that's our tradition. So I think that's something that we can definitely learn and go back to our roots. Remember, the Buddhist culture here comes from India, but the Shintoism, which is even more important, is very similar to Hinduism.
It's a real culture of Japan.
Yeah, because the Shintoism is it's like believing in nature, and that's what Hinduism is about. So. And India is not Hinduism alone. I understand. I mean, there's all kinds of religions, but that's our roots. If you go 3,000-4,000 years ago, so
definitely. So you just said that if you had a choice at that time as a young man, you would have stayed back in India. Do you have any plan in future doing something for India?
Well, as I said, to me, I think. To me, India is at a point where the business interests and what you want to do personally align, right? So, for example, we've set about big research labs because that's the right thing to do for a business. So as I just mentioned, I go there almost every 2 months or so because the business interests are there. So I think India is a point where the business interests and align in what's needed, what's good for business. So absolutely.
Wonderful. So now, Vivek, I'm going to ask you a few questions, a rapid fire round, So a few questions I'll be asking you. You can just answer, one word or one sentence. So what's your favorite food?
It's my favorite homemade food.
You have to name it at least. Homemade can be many things, Vivek.
Home, I would say in India, in Indian food, I would have homemade. It's, if you would say, since I'm Punjabi, probably sarson ka saag and makki ki roti, and in Japanese food, maybe miso soup with rice, just plain rice and uh, some fish, vegetables. Yeah.
Very good. Your favorite place, if there is any.
Favorite place. I would say it's I'm kind of partial to Tokyo, and I like Tokyo, and I would say Dharamshala is another one of my favorite places.
Okay. And your favorite people or person, if you have any. It's very
Favorite
difficult,
people.
I know, but it's
Favorite people or person. There would be quite a few, but I don't know if this favorite. I mean, there are a lot of people you respect, right? So,
like you love someone, or like it can be anyone, like wife, mother, parents.
a mother is always favorite, right? Mother is always favorite. Yeah, your family is always there, your wife, daughter, and all this. That's always there. But beyond the immediate family, I guess from one person that I would admire from a professional perspective would be Michael Jordan, who's a basketball star, right? I mean, he was so professional in how he did it.
Mm-hmm. If your time permit, I don't know whether you listen to songs or not. If you do, then what is your favorite one or two, three favorite songs, if you have any?
Favorite song? I like U2.
U2. Okay. You
U2.
like U2. And
U2.
good.
U2 group.
Is there anything in India, Indian songs? No, you don't listen.
No, I do. Yeah, there are quite a few, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Why don't you name one?
Some of the Indian songs. I would like some of the Muhammad Rafi songs, Kishore Kumar songs. I'm a horrible singer, so don't tell me to lyric those. Okay.
Maybe next time I will ask you to sing some, but not today.
No, I don't have a voice. I don't have a voice nice like yours. So.
Thank you for the compliment. And the favorite movie? It can be Hollywood, it can be any country.
Favorite movie? I have. I actually think the movie that I can see again and again is there's a very it's a Studio Ghibli movie, Totoro,
Totoro.
which is you know Totoro?
Yes, of course.
Yes, so I can see that like as many times as you want me to show you. I mean, it's just a pure innocent movie.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. So if you have a lot of time in your hand, free time, what is the thing you would like to do?
A lot of time. I like to read books. I like to go running, swimming, yoga. Yeah.
Great. So yoga is with you. Wonderful. And the last question. So if you like think that you're free, who would you like to date in this world?
Come on. That would be
I said just a fire. It's a rapid fire round, it's okay. You can name
who would I like to date in this world?
Yeah.
Nah. I think I like to be with my let me play it nice and calm. I like to be with myself.
Great, wonderful. That's really great answers. Yeah, wonderful. And the last, I would like to request you to say something in Hindi for the youth of India, so I can just, deliver everywhere that message to them, because you are such an inspiration for entire India and especially for the youth.
No, no, no. हिंदी में
हिंदी में
बोलूं
बोलिए।
क्या?
हाँ जी, हिंदी में बोलिए।
हाँ जी। तो जो भी लोग सुन रहे हैं उनके लिए तो मैं तो यही कहूंगा कि आप
विवेक जी, आप थोड़ा हाथ को हटाइए।
आप इंडिया इस वक्त बहुत एक्साइटिंग मोड पे है, क्योंकि काफी इंडिया में प्रोग्रेस हो रही है। और आई थिंक मैं तो यही सोचता हूँ कि जो इंडिया का यूथ है उसको अपने ऊपर विश्वास करके दुनिया में बेस्ट एम करना चाहिए, और वो कर सकते हैं। ये आपने देखा ही है कि इंडिया इसरो जैसे है मून पे गया, और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत बहुत आगे बढ़ रहा है। पर ये भी है कि हमको सबको साथ लेना है। तो उस हिसाब से जैसे कि मैं अभी बोल रहा था कि आई थिंक हमको ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि प्रोग्रेस के बीच में वी शुड नॉट, सोसाइटी का लेवल डिक्रीज नहीं होना चाहिए, मोरालिटी नहीं डिक्रीज होनी चाहिए, और सोसाइटी ठीक तरह से आगे बढ़नी चाहिए। यही
Thank you so much. And for the audience, for the people who are watching, for them, I would like to say definitely whatever I said, Vivek today said, definitely he meant every word, because I, knowing him personally, I would say he's such an inspiration for the entire youth, for the all over world, definitely, but especially for the entire youth of India, or very down to earth, very wonderful human being. So you have to be, it's not only the professional, you have to be successful, you have to make sure that you are, spiritually successful. Spiritual doesn't mean the religion, it has no relation with religion. Spiritually successful means to understand who you are. So with that, I'd like to end today's interview. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining us, for giving us wonderful time and inspire the entire India. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and namaste.
Namaste.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.